This year, more than any other year that I can remember, as being a quote unquote legitimate asset.
Yeah, I mean, look, gold definitely has hit a new all-time high. That's great, but it's only up about 13% for the year. The S&P is up 19. So if you're not outperforming the S&P, you can't really celebrate. Now, on top of that, Bitcoin's up over 150% to start the year. And a huge piece of it is just the market is illiquid. 70% of all Bitcoin in circulation has not moved in the year. So if you have people who are crazy...
But that's because people don't want to sell it.
Of course. Right. But not only are they not selling, as the price moves higher, more and more of them are holding it. Normally, you see the opposite. As price rises, people sell into the strength. So what you have is people are getting more conviction. On top of that, if you go and you look at retail, this is defined by people who have one Bitcoin or less in their wallet. They're actually buying up more Bitcoin in the market than what's coming in on a net new supply on a daily basis. So you have retail alone is pushing the price up. And then you get institutions, ETF speculation, people trying to front run a interest rate cut. And this thing is only going to continue to run over the next 18 to 24 months.
There you have it from Anthony Pompliano. He's giving you his take on what's going to happen within the next 2 years. Bitcoin is just starting. The alt market, as you see right here, is getting ready to gear up and blast off. As you see, we do have a major run up, and this is looking very bullish now because we are breaking over macro resistance. Remember, resistance levels and support levels are horizontals, and you can look at trends by diagonals. Remember that. But the resistant level has been broken through right here on this candle. This is on the total 3. So this is excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is just solely the alt market. It's breaking through macro resistance right here at 436.6 billion. Current time it's recording coming in at 454. This is the weekly candle. We have a few days before this candle closes. Now, could this be a fake out? That could be a possibility. But one thing we want you to note is look to the left of the chart right here. When we fell off this cliff, there is not much traffic in this area until you get all the way back in July. So could this just blast up the same way it fell down? That could be what's next and what's in the cards for the alt market. We hope you're prepared. And look here, we see a double bottom pattern right here. We have one bottom, and then we have a second bottom. This is a definitely bullish W formation, and we have small W's within it. And this is just looking like it's pointing to the upside. The technical target, we already measured it out right here, is from this neckline up to down to the base of the W, and you pull it up to where the breakout point would be. This could go all the way up about almost 660 to 700 billion dollars as a technical target. Look to the left of the charts of the technical target. You see there's more traffic there. So it's just blasting back up through where it fell down back in May of 22. This could be what's in the cards for the alts in the short term, so make sure you're prepared. An update from Bitcoin for Freedom. What happens if only 10 billionaires buy Bitcoin for $1 billion each? So if they each spend $1 billion, you got 10 billion coming in, 10 times 1 billion. And right now, you multiply that by a factor of 118, that's 1.18 trillion. And the current market capitalization is 857 billion, roughly, give or take. So you add those two together and divide by the number of coins, that gets you to that $100,000 Bitcoin with that simple math, just with 10 billionaires. You're not talking about ETFs, you're not talking about hedge funds, institutions, sovereign wealth, and everybody else pouring money into the space. Bitcoin could be getting ready to rip. And you need to remember this too. Bitcoin is a store of value. What does Bitcoin do over time? What does items, S&P, real estate, gold, the dollar, the Turkish lira, everything, what do these items do over time? Since Bitcoin's inception, Bitcoin's always equals 1 Bitcoin. But everything slowly over time is melting to zero against Bitcoin. We suggest you get Bitcoin before all the rest of these items keep going down, down, and down, because you'd be left with nothing. 1 Bitcoin always equals 1 Bitcoin. And take a look at the total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. We've been in this falling wedge. We've showed you this, and we came down and respected it. And you see right here, we blasted through this. And right now, we had this candle come down like we're about to fall out of this. We told you to be patient because the RSI has been putting in higher lows and the trend has been changing, but also we're not near that apex region yet. So could we just come back up and retest this upper bound before we come back down, or are alts getting ready to take off in the short to midterm? You have to be patient, but this downwards resistance is the next level to pay attention to. If this red candle reverses, this is the weekly, this will close on within 3 days. And right now, the way this candle is looking, this is definitely a bullish trend reversal candle. This is a hammer candle right now, but it hasn't closed yet. You have to be patient and wait. We could just come back up and hit our head, then fall back down going into the new year. Right now, our alt's getting ready to take off. It looks very bullish, but you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of this move. We could be getting ready to blast off something crazy, but then again, you have to be patient. Looking at the total 3, as we've showed you before, this candle needs to close. It keeps pushing up. We've had a lot of bullish momentum. This is the weekly chart. And this is the last 8 candles. We've seen a major blast off. And if just looking from a measured move, we see that this is roughly a 43% move. So it doesn't look that crazy in the overall alt market because every altcoin is not moving. But if we do have this major blast off and continuation, you have to be aware that this is eventually going to have a cool off. It's going to have a pullback. Now, will it blast through this macro resistance and then flip this resistance to support before we have a continuation to the upside? That could be a possibility. Could this candle come back down and trade a little bit tighter into above this 200 moving average, or come back down and wait for this 20 moving average to catch up? All scenarios are possible, but it's still bullish either way you cut the cloth. Let's hear from Raoul Paul and what his take is for next year, 2024, and what he's anticipating. Let's hear from Raoul.
Crypto markets are forward-looking. So most people are saying, well, we're probably around a recession. We're seeing unemployment go up, blah, blah, blah. Crypto knew about this last year because it's forward-looking. It actually trades on liquidity conditions. And I do a lot of macroeconomic research at my research company, Global Macro Investor. And for us, the liquidity cycle just keeps going for the next 2 years. So we will see a bottoming of the economy, maybe Q1, Q2 of next year, that people will visibly start to see things improving. But the markets are already trading it. The equity market's already almost back at the all-time highs. Crypto markets ripping because they're discounting this. If we live that 6 months in the future, are the Fed likely to be raising rates or cutting rates? Cutting rates. At worst, they don't do anything. But that's so the probability is for easing of liquidity conditions. Is there a chance, because we're going to an election year, that they stimulate with fiscal stimulus? Pretty much 100% chance they'd like to buy votes. So 2024 is all about stimulus and economic recovery. That's a very, very, very good backdrop. And that's the transition from crypto and macro spring into crypto macro summer. And that macro summer, crypto summer, is we're starting to see growth pick up, but inflation's not picking up yet. It's still falling from the lagging effects of the old cycle. So inflation is not a problem, growth is going up, and liquidity is coming into the system. That's like the perfect environment.
There you have it from Raoul. So what's your take? Do you think 2024 is going to be bullish? The Bitcoin Bros definitely do. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate all the support. If you haven't smashed that like button, do so because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And with that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.